the Golden State Warriors are just as shocked as the rest of us. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors have won 6 out of their last 7 games, and a lot of NBA players and NBA fans don't know how the Warriors have been able to turn this season around. In today's video, we're going to be going through 5 underrated reasons why the Warriors have actually been able to turn this around and head back into the playoff picture and hopefully make another NBA championship run. So make sure to like this video, and guys, 92% of you are still not subscribed to the channel, so it'd mean the world if you could subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. The first is Jonathan Kuminga becoming a star. Now, as we all know, Jonathan Kuminga has come out of nowhere, but was also expected from Warriors fans, and now he is playing at a top tier level. As you all know, Jonathan Kaminga earlier on this season actually made a complaint to the Warriors staff that he wasn't getting enough minutes and didn't have a big role for this team, and he was actually looking to be traded somewhere else where he does have a bigger role. It did lead to a lot of controversy, but Steve Kerr actually decided to give him what he wanted and add him into the starting lineup, and it's probably been the best decision ever made. Just by looking at these highlights, you see that Jonathan Kaminga, if given the minutes, has been an absolute star. Now, when you look at his season stats, he is averaging 15.5 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 1.9 assists. But if we just look at the last 5 games, he's actually averaging a little bit better, 2 more extra points, 2 extra rebounds, and also 1 extra assist, which is fantastic. But he also has helped close out games and especially played great defense throughout the whole games, and has helped this Warriors team win 6 out of their last 7 games. Now, as you all know, when it comes to Jonathan Kaminga, his game is definitely a lot of defense, but he has become a great inside scorer that has definitely been needed for this Warriors team, since they have enough 3-point shooters in Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and maybe you can even add Andrew Wiggins in there for having great 3-point shooting. Now that they have a dominant force inside such as Jonathan Kaminga, who can still also shoot the 3 ball, it honestly makes them so more effective on offense, and they don't really struggle too much to score as a whole as a team. Now, when it comes to Kaminga's efficiency out there, he has an effective field goal percentage of 57%, which is great, free throw percentage of 72%, which I do believe can definitely be improved, but a 3-point percentage of 31%, which is really decent. So Jonathan Kaminga has been doing everything for this team at 6'8", 210 pounds. He adds that extra height that is definitely needed for this Warriors team. So when Warriors do face off against taller teams, they don't seem to struggle as much, as Jonathan Kaminga has played great defense throughout them as well. And having him on the floor also helps him continue to run that small ball lineup, as Kaminga, although he is the same size as a power forward or even in today's NBA a center position at 6'8", he definitely moves like a guard, has the speed of a guard, and is able to pretty much guard 1 through 5 very, very well. The second is that the Golden State Warriors could sign another superstar this upcoming offseason. Now, as you all know, this may not affect Golden State Warriors this season, but the Warriors are actually planning to add another superstar alongside Stephen Curry, as he is in his final years in the NBA. As you all know, Stephen Curry is getting older by the day, and because of that, the Warriors want to make the most out of it before moving on into their next dynasty that they will try to rebuild. Now, when it comes to Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors, they are looking to actually add one person, and that one person is none other than LeBron James. Now, this is probably insane to think of, but the Golden State Warriors, it was actually linked that they reached out to the Los Angeles Lakers in order to make a trade for LeBron James just before the NBA trade deadline. So it does definitely show that Warriors are interested in getting LeBron, and also the Lakers are looking, or may be interested in a trade with the Golden State Warriors as well. Could we see LeBron and Stephen Curry finally playing the same team? I think this would honestly be insane, and it could be over for the rest of the league. Although they are a little bit older, they're both playing at such a high level. They are still some of the top 10 best players in the world, and that's one of the reasons why they both made All-Star pretty easily. When it comes to LeBron's stats, he is averaging 24.8 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 7.8 assists, but it does seem very evident that the Golden State Warriors are a better fit when it comes to him winning a championship, as the Lakers haven't really provided that extra oomph that the LeBron James and the Lakers need. So because of that, LeBron could be looking elsewhere, maybe team up with Bronny James somewhere else, but Golden State Warriors are definitely on that bill, and I think if the Warriors are able to pull it off during this offseason, it could be the biggest move of the century, having 2 of probably the people that have ran this latest era or dynasty of the NBA, to see them team up and finally try to win another NBA championship together. So this could be something special, not just in the history books, but great to see, and we could be seeing it so far or so soon as next season. The third is none other than Trayce Jackson-Davis becoming more of a star for this Golden State Warriors team. Now, as you all know, Trayce Jackson-Davis is a rookie, and he has provided some pretty solid games over the last 40 games that he has played, but not only that, but he's he's done it at a very efficient rate. Now, when it comes to Jackson Davis, he is a fantastic player, and although Jonathan Kaminga has taken that starting spot, we actually have seen a little bit of a decrease in his minutes. You know, when we looked at earlier on in the season, he was actually at a time where he was averaging around 20 minutes per game. Now it's dropped all the way to 8. And this is due to the fact that someone like Jonathan Kaminga, who has been playing great, is now getting more of the minutes. And although that is great for Jonathan Kaminga, it hasn't been great for Jackson Davis. But when it comes to Davis, he is still playing great with the amount of minutes that he is getting, but I don't believe that he will continue to get these amount of minutes, and it could increase as time goes on. We've seen what he's capable of, and he's had big round rebounding games in the past. As you all know, he had a great rebounding game against Boston where he had 13, another one against Washington where he had 15, and also 10 points on top of that, and also had some great scoring nights here and there, with one of them having 19 points against the New Orleans Pelicans. So Trayce Jackson Davis, and as you see from this highlights, is capable of doing everything on the offensive floor. He may not have a three-point shot, but that is not what the Warriors need him for. They need him as a defensive anchor in the paint on offense and on defense as well. He has an effective field goal percentage of almost 70%, which is absolutely insane for a rookie, and the fact that he is showing this much promise early on in his career at 23 years old could definitely set him up for a great future, not just this season, but for seasons to come. When we look at Trayce Jackson Davis as well, he does stand at 6'9", 245 pounds. That makes him one of the tallest players in this team, and because of that, I do believe he will get a lot more minutes when it comes closer to playoff time. They are going to be going up against teams in the playoffs that are a bit more taller, that may try to use their size for their advantage, and that's where I see a lot of minutes for Davis, especially in moments like that. But when it comes to TJD, for his rookie season, he's showing a lot of promise, and I know a lot of Warriors fans are definitely excited to see what he has for the future, because having Trayce Jackson Davis continue to develop, and now that Kaminga is slowly becoming a star, we could see a new Twin Towers starting to form in the Golden State Warriors era. The fourth is the underrated six-man Dario Saric. Now, I think Dario Saric has been such a crucial player for this Golden State Warriors team, and he's done a fantastic job providing really a lot of points in the inside, especially when it comes to points off the bench. When it comes to Dario Saric so far this season, he is averaging 9.4 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 2.4 assists. What I love most about his game is that when he's out there, whether he's given 20 minutes or even 10 minutes, his efficiency out there has honestly always been fantastic. When we look at actually Dario Saric and what he has been capable of doing, he's been able to score at will when needed, but on top of that, he's been a great defensive anchor, being at 6'10", 225 pounds, and also against taller teams has done a great job on defense. Now, Dario Saric isn't really known as a great defender, but he definitely has shown it time and time again. His effective field goal percentage of 57% has been great, and a three-point percentage of 40% has also done him nicely as well. But when it comes to Saric, and as we look at these highlights, you definitely see what he is capable of doing for this Warriors team, really being able to expand the floor as a big man and be able to run the pick and pop pretty easily. If we look at all the big men for the Golden State Warriors, the best three-point shooting big besides Dario Saric is probably Jonathan Kaminga, and he, I would say, is not just as consistent as Dario Saric. And that's one of the biggest events that I do believe that Dario Saric really does provide for this team. Their ability to run pick and pop with Dario Saric has honestly been fantastic, and although he may not get the same amount of shots that he always gets, the fact that he is able to space out the floor, it does really open up for a lot of players such as Steph, such as Klay on multiple occasions. So it's the little things that I do believe definitely help, and I think Dario Saric has definitely provided that. I know Warriors fans definitely see Dario Saric as a great player. He may not be an absolute star, but I do believe the little things that he has done for this team could definitely help them when it comes playoff time. The fifth is none other than having Gary Payton II return from injury. Now, as you all know, Gary Payton II was injured for some time now, and he has only played 20 games so far this season. So it is great to have him back, because he has honestly been very beneficial on the defensive side of things, especially coming from that second unit. Now, so far this season, Gary Payton II is averaging 5.8 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Now, it may not sound like crazy numbers, but what he does out there on defense is one of the reasons why he's given the minutes that he is given. He's been averaging around 15 minutes per game ever since returning, and he's provided a lot of defense, whether it's blocks, steals, or just great defense all around. And this is something that I do believe that not many Warriors fans really actually understand, just how crucial defense is, especially for that second unit. When it comes to really people that understand the game, they see how much value Gary Payton II really does provide for this team. So if you are one of those fans fans, let me know down in the comments below. But from these highlights, you definitely see he is able to score at will if needed, but the fact that he has been such a great on-ball defender, especially against great guards, whether it's fast guards like De'Aaron Fox all the way to bigger players such as LeBron, he has been able to hold his own even at 6'2", 190 pounds. And having Gary Payton II back, because as we all know, he was sent away and then they traded back for him, the fact that he is back with this Warriors team, I think, has been more beneficial than we actually realized. When it comes to GP2 as well, what I do believe he does bring is a lot of experience, especially to these younger guys. If we look at the Warriors roster now, the fact that Brandin Podziemski, Jonathan Kaminga, Trayce Jackson-Davis are now all getting minutes, it definitely has a lot more reliability for the vets to teach these younger guys to stay on the right path and teach them the game of basketball. And I think that's what GP2 can also provide, especially for that second unit. He's been a great leader for them.